JQ Public is my name. I live and work in the city. The city can be a lot like people, but at least the city is real and honest. Yeah, it can be cold and hard, lonely and dark, but at least the city doesn't cut your heart out with a spoon, take all your dishes and leave you with no explanation to, where was I? Oh yeah, I work in the city. Most people would call me a private eye, but I just do the kind of work that most people don't want to do. I take the jobs as they come. It's not easy sometimes, but the money is good and buys me a place to stay out of the rain. I work around places decent citizens never even heard of. I run into regular Joes that make hardened convicts nervous, but I don't mind. I didn't mind getting a call to check out a job. It was on the posh side of town, and her voice was like melted caramel. Lots of potential, I thought, as the rain pelted my car. She was young and desperate, two ingredients that spelled danger for most. She had the kind of look that I couldn't tell if she was upset or maybe just had indigestion.
Mr. Public, I'm so desperate. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. He's been gone for almost a week now. I need you to help me find him. Please help me. He's the love of my life. We were meant to be together. Please, Mr. Public, I'm begging you. Please help me find him. I need him back in my life.
I asked, did you have a fight?
We didn't have any disagreements at all, but I do have a feeling that he didn't like my cabin.
I filled her heart with hope. She filled my wallet with cash. I decided that it was best to get started while the trail was, well, lukewarm. She gave me some names of friends, but I know when people are in trouble, the first place they end up is lockup. My contacts there hadn't seen him, so I bumped some Playboy magazines from the warden and took off. This guy was slick. The case was going to be harder than I thought, but I kept trudging on, checking all the usual spots characters go when they're running away or hiding from trouble. I drove like a damn fool all over this city. I looked in all the places, sleazy bars, rat trap motels, and the convenience stores. Since I was hitting dead ends, I decided to call it a night. The next day, I poured a beer for breakfast and took off. I figured the best place to start would be the neighbors. Tom Beaumont lived across the street. He was nice enough to let me ask him some questions, but I think the last time he had any fun was probably at Woodstock. I asked him if he knew anything about Ava and her guy.
Yeah, I've known him for quite a while, lived across the street from him. You know, I see him going out 10, 11 o'clock at night. I never really thought much about it other than maybe they're having problems or maybe he's got a second job. You know, it's none of my business, but...
I asked if he was the kind of guy that would get into any trouble.
Well, I don't know that he would. Like I say, you know, I don't get into people's business too much, but like I say, you know, the oddities of seeing him in the middle of the night coming in and out or doing, you know, just out running, and then he comes back early in the mornings. You know, it just seems kind of strange to me, but like I say, you know, I don't get too much involved in other people's business.
I asked the guy sitting on the porch next door if he had seen anything suspicious.
Huh? What?
So I asked the guy again if he'd seen anything suspicious going on around here lately. Anything? Anything at all?
What did you say?
I didn't say it out loud, but I wondered what the hell was wrong with this guy. So instead I asked him if his mother made him wear that hat.
You got any spare change?
I wasn't about to give this guy any spare change. He'd probably just go and blow it on the lottery.
Did you have $1?
I gave him $1 and told him to go buy a clue. I made my way to find LaVon, one of Ava's friends. I know that sometimes a girl's best friend is usually the first suspect. I found her pawing her way through a local shop. I asked if she knew anything about him.
Oh, do I know him? You bet I know him. He's been around. In fact, everybody knows him.
I asked her if she thought he was happy in the relationship.
I think he's happy in any relationship he's in. He loves them all. He's fun to be around. You can't help but enjoy him. But you can't trust him. He'd shoot past you in a second. Kind of a Houdini type, you know. Nobody locks him in. I don't think he makes any one person feel special. He makes them all feel special. Yeah, that would be him.
I needed to find out something I didn't know. Although she liked to gab, she really wasn't giving me anything I could work with. As I was walking out, the clerk asked me who I was looking for. I told him and asked if he'd seen him.
No, I haven't, but you might check with JR.
Ah, JR. Once one of the most dangerous and powerful men in the Memphis Mafia. If anybody knew where to find somebody, he would know. He was in a local coffee shop when I asked him if he had seen him.
You might check out Joe's Bar.
Joe's Bar. If there's any place for a sleazy time, that would be it. It's the kind of place you don't want to be found in. I didn't think I'd see anything there, but seeing is believing. Sure enough, covered in wet mud, I found him there. I cleaned him up, dried him off, and made him respectable for his return. He was confused, but when I reunited him with Ava, everything was right again.
Thank you, Mr. Public, for reuniting me with my sweetheart. Come here, honey. Come here. Come on.
At least someone got a happy ending out of this. Me? I have an electric blanket and a hot plate to keep me warm. I'll be just fine. And when people need a job to do and no one else can, I'll be there.